Hey guys, what's going on? AT Spectre 8K here, Chris behind the camera.
Hello.
Like always. And I'm here by popular demand with my Elementsaber deck profile. It's an updated version. It's a going first variant that can also go second. It's an updated variant to my top YCS deck, top 128 deck that I took to YCS New Jersey by popular demand. So let's get into it. 2 copies of Lapuila Mana. I can make them immune to battle, card effect, or targeting, and all my Elementsabers and Lords receive the same treatment. It's a really cool card. Really cool deck. I really enjoy it.
Pseudo masterpiece.
Indeed, indeed. This is a card that I've kind of started to fall in love with a little bit in combos. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. I know a lot of decks don't like playing it. It's Nalu. Nalu allows you to send 1 card from hand or deck to graveyard to revive 1 from graveyard back to hand. I kind of like it. You'll see why I play it though later on. It's a great card to search for a combo where you can first turn Moulin Glacier your opponent. It's really, really good. 2 copies of Makani to search Moulin Glacier whatever you need. It's a really good searcher of the deck, really good for combos. 1 Malo, I just used him. I used to play 2 of him, but the reason why I play 1 of him and now I'm playing the 2 Nalu is because of the fact that I can still use water or fire for the attributes like I did previously, and his effect just isn't as good, or I found out that I never used it, and I started using the Nalu effect in small circumstances, so I kind of like it. 1 copy of Lapuila, like I said before, the little guy. He's just a spell trap negation, negative activations once per turn. All you really need. 2 copies of Aina. I might bump her up to 3, I don't know. 3 is kind of bricky, especially if you draw multiples of them in the same hand, very, very brick. You normal summon her, or special summon whatever, and then you can special summon from grave by sending to grave, either from hand or deck. 2 copies of Malehu. He's Book of Moon. He's really, really awesome to have on board. Really, really cool card. And he's a level 4, which helps out a lot. On to the big guys. 1 copy is Phosphorage. He's Raigeki of the deck. Really, really cool. So if you're going second, you have a Raigeki. Moulin Glacier for the first turn, or second turn, kind of. If your opponent holds cards, you can first turn or second turn Moulin Glacier. It's really, really cool.
Can you Moulin Glacier like twice?
Yes, you can. Not in the same turn, but with Aina, because if Moulin Glacier is properly summoned, what I do is if I have my field spell, I get rid of the Moulin Glacier first turn to help make what's it called, Yugioh, because I'm already skipping my battle phase anyway, and he'll be in the graveyard, and then I can use another Aina to revive him next turn and rip 4 cards out of your hand in 2 turns. It's really, really cool combo. And then the last big guy, BLS.
Makes a lot of sense with this deck.
Black and light.
Yeah.
Black and white. Light and dark. Really, really cool. Going into the combo starters, 3 copies of Marauding Captain.
This is such a good card.
Normal summon, special summon another warrior. 3 Goblinberg. Level 4. He makes a synchro summon of this deck that is really, really important. That's really, really cool. That stops the meta. Also special summons. And then 3 copies of Photon Thrasher. These are your play starters. You see any of these guys, you're golden. If you see a Photon Thrasher in one of these, you're most likely going to win the game because you're going to set up a really, really cool combo that I'm going to show you guys.
The Captain Lock is back.
Now, this is the 1 card I don't have in the deck, unfortunately, but I wanted to get you guys this deck profile as soon as possible. It's 1 copy of Attack Gainer. It's a level 1 tuner. It's a proxy, unfortunately, but I wanted to get you guys the deck as soon as possible. Once again, its name is Attack Gainer, level 1 tuner, and it's an Earth, which you guys know where I'm going at in a minute. For hand traps, 3 copies of Droll and Lock and 1 copy of Effect Veiler. This might have been an Ash Blossom, however, for this deck, the lights are insanely important, and this card can be used for it, which I really like, and Droll and Lock is just my favorite hand trap of the format, really. It's just great. Really great. Going into the spells, we have 3 copies of the best field spell in human existence if it didn't skip your battle phase. Search repeatedly. It's like a diagram with no cost except skip your next battle phase. Gives all your opponents, gives all of your monsters attack, all of them, not just Elementsabers and Lords. And you can activate your Elementsaber cards by sending from deck, which is insanely important, so that you don't use up your hand advantage. If this card did not skip your next battle phase, this would be the most broken field spell, and human existence.
These guys would OTK you like nobody's business.
Yeah, we would murder you first turn or second turn. It'd be insane.
Yeah.
3 copies of Terraforming to search it. I don't play Planet Pathfinder anymore, as you can see, because I really want to utilize my normal summon to get out another card. 1 copy of Rhoda.
Makes sense.
1 Upstart. 2 of the Equips. Moonmere Shield's a great one because he recycles. And then 1 copy of Ring of Magnetism makes Captain Lock if you find it. And then finishing out 1 copy of Soul Charge.
The best card.
No traps in the main. Going off into the side deck, we have 2 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, depending upon the matchup. You can side out whatever you need of the 4 hand traps that you're playing. You side out 2, and then you're playing a 2-and-2 format, which I really like. 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. 2 copies of Prohibition, great against certain matchups. Against Spiral, you just call Spiral Super Agent. They're locked out of 2 cards. I did a combo where I called Spiral Super Agent. I had 2 in the same hand. Spiral Super Agent, Spiral Quick Fix. They're locked. They can't play. 1 card I wish I had more of, Night Beam. If you play this card against Sky Striker Trickstar, you can snipe off their copies of Scapegoat, yes, thank you. And they can't activate it. This card says you cannot activate the card in response, so you can snipe off their cards.
No Borreload for you.
Nope. No free Borreload, which means they have no out to my deck and then they die. 2 copies of Red Reboot, Altergeist. 2 copies of Royal Decree, Paleozoic, Altergeist, any trap heavy deck. 1 copy of Imperial Order, because now that I'm not playing a field spell reliant deck so much, this card doesn't hurt me as much anymore. Really hurts your opponent so much more in this meta. 1 copy of Gamma Seal, because kaijus are amazing.
He's a turtle.
Hey Dad, I'm a turtle. 1 copy of Windrose, Heavy Storm Duster if you need it.
Searcher.
I used to play it in the main, but I don't like it anymore in the main because of the fact that certain decks don't play a lot of back row, so this card just becomes a dead card. And then 1 copy of Grand Soil because it's, you know, a monster reborn. Why not? Plus you're playing a lot of Earth targets. Into the extra deck. Let's go 1 Sold, because 2 is too much, I would think.
This card is so good.
It's really, really good. But only at 1, 2 is a little too much. Unless they hit it. If they hit it, I kind of miss 2, but otherwise, you only need the 1 activation. Decode Talker. We're talking too much about Borreload. Decode Talker. He's awesome just to get cards off the board, because this is a light, so I can utilize her to make the Raigeki. Play 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Mermaid, and 1 Nightmare Phoenix. They're just really, really good cards. If you set it up, like you can make a Spell Trap. Can't be destroyed by Spell and Trap. Can't be destroyed by battle once per turn. This card for the Ibly Lock. Really, really good card. 1 copy of Underclock Taker. 1 copy of Topologic Bomber Dragon. 1 copy of Topologic Trispania. And 1 copy of Saryuja Skaldi. By the way, there's going to be 16 in this extra deck. Just because I'm siding out the Topologic Bomber Dragon. I'm just putting it in there just in case you guys want to utilize it in place of anything else that I have in here. It's going to be a 16 card extra deck just to showcase it, but you can side that out. You can side out any of my XYZs. It's all up to personal preference. 1 copy of Castell, just to flip your opponent's cards face down. 1 Alsei, the Sylvan High Protector, just to shuffle back. Abyss Dweller, Baguska. He's not that great in this meta, plus with this deck, he's alright. I could just use him to stall if I need to for the battle phase. I just stall on this, then flip it. 1 copy of Utopia Beyond. 1 copy of Nat Beast, who I can make in this deck. First turn with a combo. With the attack gainer and the Goblinberg, he makes Nat Beast, which is really cool. And then 1 copy of Gandiva. A Gandiva Nat Beast, your opponent is probably going to scoop because it negates all spells, and this card negates the special summon of a monster level 4 or lower, which can pretty much stop your opponent in his tracks before he can link summon, which is really, really cool. So we're going to go to the combo now. Cut it, please. All right, hey guys. So this is the combo that people were asking about. This is the main combo that I usually play with this deck. It requires Photon Thrasher and any one of those other 6 cards that I showcased to you guys, either a Goblinberg or a copy of Marauding Captain or Palace or whatever. It's really that. It could be any one of the Elemental Sabers level 4 or lower, so you can do this. Any of them these two guys, and then any other card in the whole deck, as long as you don't hit the equip spells or the elemental lords, you're very, very fine. I'm just going to showcase it with Palace, so you can go a little bit more, and then any other elemental saber, which would be this. So what you would do is you would special summon your copy of Photon Thrasher. Then you would normal summon Goblinberg, activate effect to special summon any one of your elemental saber cards. Next, what you would do is you would activate Palace of the Elemental Lords to search your copy of the big boy, La Puila Mana. You would activate La Puila Mana's effect utilizing Palace of the Elemental Lords. Sorry, it's not an activate effect, but it's the summoning condition of the card, sending any cards that you would like, depending upon your opponent, which would be targeting, battle, card effect, whatever. You just want to send the Makani. The Makani is super important to send. And then any other card, you could send the fire to make it battle and card effect immune. You could send the water again. You could send anything you like. Let's just do that for safekeeping, I would say. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to link with these two to go into a copy of Isolde to Tales of the Noble Knights. Isolde effect to add a copy of Nalu to hand. And now here's the difference. You can activate her effect to send one of your equipped spells to grave, which would be a copy of Moon Mirror Shield, to special summon out your attack gainer. So now you have this in your hand. So your hand would be like this. This was, keep in mind, 4 cards of your opening 5 that you've utilized so far. But now you have this on board. You can synchro summon into this with your copy of Isolde and make Nat Beast. So now you have Nat Beast, La Puila Mana, and Isolde on the field with 2 cards in hand. That's how you can end. So you have unlimited spell negates. So if you're playing against Sky Striker Trickstar, this card is GG against them already. Now you can go into a different combo with here. Instead of going into Nat Beast, if you'd like to take it a step further, and you have the cards, let me put back the placement of my cards. You would still go into this. However, what you would do is you would go into a copy of Aina by sending your 2 equipped spells to grave. So you go into Aina, activate Aina's effect, sending your 1 copy of Nalu to graveyard to special summon a copy of Elementsaber Makani. Now what you're going to do is, if you have an additional card in hand, any card at all, any Elementsaber card in hand at all, you're going to send that to the graveyard to search out a copy of Muling Glacia. Now what you're going to do is you can use any one of these cards, any one that you would like. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4 if you would like. You just have to use the Isolde and 3 other cards. Plus, since you already used these guys' effects, it's really great to get them off the board. Unless you want to go for a rank 4 play, if you think you're going to get it, utilize this, leave the Goblinberg, and go into Saryuja. So now afterwards, like you will see in a moment, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly in graveyard. 5 different cards that can all become waters, which will let you Muling Glacia your opponent. So now you have that, and then you can draw your 4 and put. You'll have 1 card left in hand, unless you do a different combo or you do anything else. So you'll have 2 cards left in hand. Or 1 card left in hand, depending. So you'll end up with either 2 cards or 1 card, and you'll have a Muling Glacia, a Goblinberg, and a Saryuja on the board, and you'll have a Palace of the Elemental Lords for next turn. You've already ripped 2 cards of your opponent's hand in this combo, and you have the Saryuja. It's a really cool play also. Really, really cool. You can realistically do it however you would like. If you have additional cards, like if the Saryuja searches another copy of say you get a Palace, and say you get a Aina, then you can really combo hard, because then you can activate the 2nd copy of Palace to search a copy of, you're going to search out a copy of the Dark, which would be Malehu. Search Malehu, and then you would special summon one of these guys, depending upon what you would like to do. You could special summon the Aina actually, send the Malehu to graveyard, and because you have the additional targets in grave, special summon the Malehu you just got rid of, overlay into Gandiva, and now you have negation on the board or Malehu's negation. It's really, really cool. I really like this combo, and that's basically the gist of my combo. So this is AT Spectre 8K signing off. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.